All right. Yo, guys, what is up? Revolts here, bringing you guys another video. Today is a very different video. It's a video about something you guys have probably already seen kind of all over the place because this is something that's like become really crazy in the news and everything because of what happened. It was a pretty screwed up situation. And as you can tell, I mean, from what you're seeing right here and from my channel, the reason I would even be talking about this is because it involves scammers. Yeah, so essentially a group of scammers, I mean, down to the basics of it, got somebody killed. They're a group of scammers got somebody murdered. Um Directly or indirectly, either way, I think the scammers don't care. The scammers have probably seen this news story and they've probably already gone on and scammed other people during this time because they don't care. Scammers do not care. This is literally what they do. So, let me go over this with you guys. So, as you can see right here, authorities in Ohio say a man fatally shot a Uber driver because he wrongly assumed she was part of a scam to extract $12,000 in supposed bond money for a nephew. So what these scammers did is, if we go all the way down here, you can see right here, Brock 81. So this is the man that the scammers were calling or threatening, as you're about to see here. Received scam calls in the morning of March 25th at his home in South Charleston, a town of about 1,800 people between Dayton and Columbus. The calls regarded an incarcerated relative and turned to threats and a demand for money, according to a statement from the Clark County Sheriff's Office. And then while Brock was on the phone, Hall got a request through the Uber app to pick up a package from Brock's house for delivery, the Sheriff's Office said. Hall, 61 of Columbus, was unaware of the attempted scam. So he's sitting there, gets a phone call, and it's these scammers. And as you can see here, at first it was just about a incarcerated relative, and they're trying to get money. And from what I could tell, they were trying to get bond money for the incarcerated relative. And I'm guessing what happened is he was like, no. And then they were like, okay, we're just going to threaten the guy now because that's what scammers do. As you can see, if you've seen in many of my videos, the scammers threaten. I mean, you guys can go to my PCH videos where just a couple videos ago where I'm talking to the PCH girl scammer. I was on the phone with her for a couple of hours, and literally at the end of the phone call, she starts threatening that she was going to take me out and I was going to find out and all this stuff while she's sitting over the phone in fucking Jamaica, being a piece of shit just like these people are and trying to con me into giving her money. So they threaten him, and then of course, he's sitting on the phone. What is he going to think? Wow, somebody knows my relative. They have my phone number. And now they're threatening me. He's already on guard. He's like, what the hell is this? He's probably pissed, probably freaking out. But then what they do is they have an Uber driver go and pick up the money. So instead of at least going themselves, these pieces of shit are probably off in another fucking country somewhere else. And they go and order a fucking Uber driver to go to his house and pick up the money that they demanded. So now Ms. Hall, unaware she's doing Uber, drives to the house, and then she gets a gun pulled on her, as you can see here. Holds her at gunpoint because in his mind, he thinks, okay, this person is from this group of people. This person's trying to steal my money. And then obviously she's like very freaked out about this. She's trying to leave. But in his mind, she's a scammer. Oh, now she's turning back on what she said, That's what he's probably thinking in his mind. And then he makes demands for the people that he was speaking on the phone. And then, of course, as you guys saw, he ended up shooting her I believe it might say it in the article here. I believe it was about 8 to 9 times. Um, and she succumbed to her injuries at the hospital. Um, so yeah, it's really crazy. He's been indicted on Monday, charges of murder, assault, and kidnapping. Posted a $200,000 bail, was released from the Clark County Jail on Wednesday. His attorney did not immediately return an email seeking comment on Friday, which, I mean, I don't know what his attorney's really going to say. I mean, this is a crazy situation. You can see here, grandparent scams have become increasingly common in the last 10 to 15 years. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And this is what scammers do. This is what they do. Scammers go, they threaten people with violence. They say they're going to take money from you, like here. They're threatening for money, then they're having somebody go get the money. And both of these people are just, Uber driver doesn't know, and the man doesn't know that it's a scam, that they're being conned. And the Uber driver, I mean, it could be literally anybody can go get an Uber, right? And this is what happens. It's a really crazy situation. There's not really too much I can actually say on this topic, other than I just kind of wanted to go over it to show you guys, like, this really does happen. Like, this is, I know a lot of people, when you're trolling, thinking about scammers, but this is literally, like, it's a game and stuff, but this is literally the other end of scamming. This is what happens, like, every single day. Maybe not this exact situation, but people take their own lives after being scammed, and a lot of times that doesn't show up on the news, You're 80 years old, and then all of a sudden you just lost all the money that you've earned throughout your entire life. And then they're done. I've heard it from so many people that they know people that has happened to. And then we have situations like this where scammers are putting the victim and another random person into this situation together, and then they clash, and then now this ends up happening. And they said they're investigating, the scammers. I don't know if they're going to find these guys. They probably used all sorts of fake information, other people's information, other people's credit cards or whatever, to buy the Uber and to even have the account and everything. So it's like, I don't really know if they're going to find these guys. But I just wanted to make this video to kind of put it out there so you guys, I know it's not my usual type of video. It's pretty depressing, to be honest. But I just want to make the video because just to show you guys that, yeah, stuff like this does happen. Like, when I'm talking about it, it happens. And maybe take the opportunity here, if you know somebody, who is susceptible to scams like this, to, tell them, even if they're like, even if it feels weird to just go up to someone and be like, I'm going to tell you about all this stuff. Send them, this news story, send them this news story and be like, I need to tell you something, and tell them about just a few different types of scams, especially if they're elderly and they're not great with technology. Tell them that there's a lot of scams, and if you can, even if you know someone's really, really susceptible to scams, if they have a cell phone, install like, Nomo Robo or Robo Killer, or if you have an iPhone, you can set it to automatically silence unknown calls, things like that. If is really susceptible to being scammed, I highly encourage doing something like that. I know it seems maybe it could seem like rude or invasive, but if someone's really susceptible, even after the fact of you telling them that about a scam and you still think they might get scammed, I'd recommend going to those links because you just don't want that to happen. Because if that happens, it could literally end up like this situation. It's 120% possible that something like this could happen with somebody that you know that would be susceptible to getting scammed. Yeah. I know this is a really depressing video. I just kind of wanted to go over it. I know I didn't really have too much to actually add to this as far as information or anything, because you know, I found out about this over the weekend and I didn't know anything about it. You know, I had to read the articles, go through the videos and everything myself. But I just wanted to make it on this video here because I know most of you guys are here. I mean, all of you guys are here for scam baiting content. And this is definitely relating to scam baiting and the scam bait community because this is what we do. I want to end this off on a positive note, though, here, because this is really depressing. For everybody who scam baits, man, honestly, you've probably saved people from this stuff. If you're going and calling scammers every day, you've probably saved people from this stuff. I know today with this type of scam bait videos that go out, it seems so impossible. Like, oh man, I don't know if I can get a scammer on a computer. I don't know if I can get their location, all this stuff. Don't even need to do that. Simply just going and calling scammers and wasting scammers' time can save people from stuff like this. You know, if you call a pop-up scammer, for example, you're on the phone with that scammer, say a scam victim's calling, and maybe there's only a couple scammers in that call center, and you're on the phone with one of them and all the other ones are occupied. You're literally protecting somebody else that's calling in from getting scammed, because when you're on the phone with them, they're not going to be able to pick up to another scam victim and start a call with them. So literally just sitting on the phone and talking to them is freaking awesome, and it totally helps stop these guys and stop people from getting in contact with these guys. So yeah, if you guys do want to call scammers, I always say this on my live streams: Textnow, TalkATone, Google Voice, Skype phone numbers, freaking Text Plus. There's so many different phone services like that. You can literally go to the iOS or Apple App Store. I'm not sponsored by Textnow, but if you get Textnow, you can get a phone number really, really quickly, any area code you choose, and you could reset that phone number every 15 days and choose a new phone number if you don't lock in that phone number by getting an account, a paid account. If you just keep a free account, every 15 days, you can cycle that phone number and just continuously call scammers over and over again. All right, guys. I hope you guys, you know, just take some time. Tell somebody that you might believe is susceptible to being scammed. Just take some time. Send them a text message. Maybe just send them the article so they can kind of have it in their head that, okay, this stuff happens. So if somebody calls them and it's off, maybe they can know about that. Send them the article. Tell them that this is happening. Tell them to beware of scams. And yeah, but other than that, I'll have a proper, you know, comedic video for you guys on Thursday here. I know this one is a bit depressing, but I just kind of wanted to go over all this for you guys, so you guys can know about this story and just the utter crap that these scammers cause. Because remember, they aren't just stealing money from people; they're literally killing people. I blame the scammers 120% for this. Even though he pulled the trigger, scammers are 100% responsible for this, and they should be in jail for the rest of their lives for this, if not worse, because this is just totally insane. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.